Which brings us to the very last ingredient that we're gonna need for this meal. Let me go ahead and get this out real quick. Now, if you're working in the kitchen in a prison or a jail, this is oftentimes how you're gonna smuggle things back, right? Let's go. Oh yeah. Don't be freaked out or grossed out. I know this looks horrible. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to After Prison Show, and today is Old Joe's birthday. That's right, Old Joe, he's a little older today. In fact, I'm 35 years old. My God, do I feel old. But with that, in this video, we're going to be doing something really special. We're going to be preparing a prison meal exactly like the one that I prepared while I was in the jail for my very first birthday locked up. Now, the crazy thing about this prison meal is the fact that it's going to be missing one very important ingredient to most any prison meal that you ever make while locked up. And what that is ramen noodles. But Joe, how do you prepare a prison meal with no ramen noodles? Well, in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how. Being as that while I was in the jail waiting to be transported to prison in a jail where I would spend over 2 years locked up at, this facility did not sell ramen noodles on commissary. And I know that sounds absolutely insane. Like, why would this facility not sell what is like the key ingredient to any prison meal that you can make? And to be honest with you, I've got no idea why they didn't sell ramen noodles. Maybe it was because of the fact that these things are high in sodium and they didn't want prisoners running around with high blood pressure. But again, in this video, we're going to be making a prison meal exactly like the prison meal that I made on my very first birthday locked up. And also a prison meal that's going to be made with very little ingredients at all. Now, there's two reasons I wanted to make this prison meal. One, you're going to learn a lot about just how ingenious prisoners will get when they can't get certain things that they need for whatever reason. In this case, it's going to be cooking. And two, I felt like this would be a really humbling experience for me. Making this meal that I made so many years ago, back during a time when my life was pretty much at rock bottom. Now, you may be thinking, why in the hell would you want to relive or think back to a time when your life was that damn messed up? But in this case, I truly feel like it could be a good thing for me. To think about where I am right now in comparison to everything that I've been through to get here. Yeah, I'm quite sure that could be pretty humbling. But let's go ahead and move on to what we're going to need to make this meal. First, we're going to need us some cheese crunchies. We're also going to need us that infamous pickle that comes in a bag. We'll need some spread cheese, some sort of a cutting device. For this, we're going to be using this plastic knife. Let me tell you something real quick about these plastic knives. Getting your hands on one of these while locked up, this is an absolute necessity. This isn't going to be used for any kind of a weapon whatsoever. You're not going to do any damage with this. But you definitely need this if you plan to do any type of cooking. These things are not easy to come by. If you get caught with one of these, you could easily be charged with having a weapon. Though I can't honestly understand how that could be a thing, but it does happen. We've got 2 plastic spoons as well, a plastic tumbler that we're going to use to put water in. In prison or jail, you would buy one of these from commissary, and this would be used to drink from or also used to cook with. Our trusty and infamous prison cutting board. We're also going to need some ingredients very important to this meal and only found inside of these bag lunches that they will oftentimes serve you while locked up. Now, real quick, let's take a moment to talk about these bag lunches. Again, what's inside of these is very important to this meal. While locked up, and also depending on where you're at, you could get these quite a bit. There's certain facilities that will serve you these every night for dinner. Some facilities might serve you these every day for lunch. Some might serve them to you on the weekends. Some might only serve them to you when you're going to court. But no matter what, when locked up, you can best believe you're going to be eating you some bag lunches. And while I was in the jail awaiting my transport to prison, I got to assure you I ate plenty of these damn things. Prison bag lunch. Now, there's a reason why there's 2 of these sitting right here, and I'm going to tell you about that in just a second. But first, let's go ahead and look and see what exactly comes inside of a prison bag lunch. 2 sandwiches, 4 slices of bread, 2 slices of sweat meat. You might be lucky enough to get you some cheese and possibly some mayonnaise, maybe some mustard as well. In a lot of cases, you're going to get you a little baggie of carrots just like this. You might get a bag of chips, maybe an apple, but in a lot of cases I've dealt with personally, it's been a little tied up baggie just like this with some carrots in it. And you know, it's funny mentioning these carrots right here in this tied up little sandwich bag, because while I was in the jail, I used to always wonder to myself, I wonder if the guy who's actually bagging up these carrots is a guy who's locked up because he used to do something else with sandwich bags just like this. In the free world, he was possibly doing something quite illegal with them, but now while locked up in the jail, he's stuffing those sandwich bags full of carrots. You'll probably also get 2 little duplex cookies, maybe a slice of cake, and other than that, that's it. So you might be wondering, what's this other bag lunch right here? This bag lunch right here is what's referred to as the lottery bag. While in jail or prison, no matter where you're at, if you're getting bag lunches, you can only hope that when receiving that bag lunch, somebody's handing you what is referred to as a lottery bag. And what a lottery bag consists of is pretty much everything that we just talked about in the regular bag lunch. However, you might get you an extra little baggie of carrots. Look at them things tied up like that little bag right there. I'm telling you, whoever's working in the kitchen tying up these bags, they probably reminiscing their times out there in the free world. Oh yeah, let me bag up them carrots. Hey, you got a scale? You got a scale? Can I weigh these carrots? Oh no, that's too heavy. We gotta take a couple of them carrots out of there. We gotta stretch this. Gotta make this product go. You might get you some extra carrots, maybe some extra cookies, but no matter what you do receive extra, and in most cases it will never be extra sandwiches, but no matter what you receive extra, even if it's only some extra carrots, you're going to refer to that bag lunch as a lottery bag. And you're going to be damn happy to get those extra carrots, because while locked up you will very rarely ever get anything extra. So again, those extra carrots might just be the highlight of your day while locked up. And you know, to be honest with you, there has been times when I've received that lottery bag lunch with those extra carrots in there, that being the highlight of my day. Damn! It's pretty sad to think about, actually. Oh, and by the way, that lottery bag that we just opened up, those sandwiches don't even have any cheese on them. Hey, why I ain't get no cheese on my sandwiches? Hey, yo, he got cheese on his sandwiches. I ain't get no cheese. It'll be the littlest things that'll mean the absolute most to you while locked up. And in some cases, when you open that bag lunch, you're going to get some sandwiches that just ain't got no cheese on them. I don't know if they got a cheese shortage down there in the kitchen, or maybe they did that to you on purpose, saying, yeah, there go Joe right there. Let's get him them sandwiches without no cheese on them. Wait a minute, it's my birthday. I ain't even get no cheese on my sandwiches. Humbling. I'm trying to tell you. Now you may be wondering to yourself, what do these bag lunches have with this prison meal we're going to be making? Well, again, they definitely include some very important ingredients that we're going to be needing. And what those are is pretty much everything that we have right here. The bread, the meat, and definitely these condiments. This mayonnaise right here. As far as these carrots and cookies, here's your dessert. These, we ain't going to be using those for this meal. Cody, they went behind the refrigerator. Now, with everything that we've shown with what we'll need to make this meal, the cheese crunchies, the pickles, the cheese, the sandwiches from the bag lunches, I gotta say this. This is probably the cheapest meal that you can ever make while locked up. And again, I made this the very first birthday that I spent locked up when I had absolutely no money whatsoever. The only money that I had was coming from the tattoos that I was doing while in the jail. There was hardly any money in this jail, so it's safe to say that I wasn't making very much money at all, and I definitely didn't have very many commissary items. The people that I associated with in the jail, they were broke as well. So when coming together to try to make this birthday meal, this was something we were doing with the least amount of ingredients possible. Ingredients that were coming out of the bag lunches or off of the trays. Which brings us to the very last ingredient that we're going to need for this meal. Let me go ahead and get this out real quick. Now, if you're working in the kitchen in a prison or a jail, this is oftentimes how you're going to smuggle things back. But let me go. Oh, yeah. Don't be freaked out or grossed out. I know this looks horrible. Joe, you got to take a shower. I'm kidding. I'm very clean, actually. But what we have in this bag that was just taken from the nether regions of my body is 2 meat rock patties. We're going to be using these for this meal as well. Cody's looking back here like he's not even going to taste this. Hey, Cody, you going to taste test this meat? He's saying he will. Okay. All right, Cody. Now, you may be wondering, Joe, what in the hell is meat rock? And to be honest with you, I have no idea. It's some sort of jail or prison fashioned patty of meat. I don't know what it consists of. Duck, seagull, birds, rats? I don't know. All I know is it's some sort of a meat-like substance that they're going to serve you quite a bit while you're locked up. So, some meat rock. We're going to need that for this super cheap prison meal as well. So now that we've explained all of the ingredients for this meal, how cheap this is to create, the fact that there's not going to be any ramen noodles at all with this meal, let's go ahead and put this meal together right now. So the first thing that we're going to need is we're going to need a half a bag of these cheese crunchies. All right, that's about a half a bag right there. We don't need that. So we've got our half a bag of cheese crunchies. We're going to go ahead and start crushing these up. So with our cheese crunchies all the way crushed up, let's go ahead and add the next ingredient. This is actually what's going to take the place of the ramen noodles, and that's going to be the bread from these sandwiches. Take the mayonnaise, put that off to the side, and let's go ahead and just start tearing up this bread. Tearing it up like we're feeding some damn pigeons. Crazy damn thing about it is we're feeding ourselves with this. So again, this bread, it's going to take the place of our ramen noodles. This is what's going to actually keep our meal held together. And for whatever reason, there's just certain facilities that don't sell ramen noodles. We got our 4 slices of bread torn up right here. Let's go ahead and add these 4 slices to our bag. You know, when you don't get ramen noodles while locked up, you're going to find other things that can work just as well. We're going to get another 4 slices out of our other sandwiches. The sandwiches that ain't have no cheese on them. I mean, I know I'm locked up, but damn, a slice of cheese though. Oh yeah, they petty while locked up. Put that meat over there, put that mayonnaise there. Let's go ahead and tear up these other 4 slices of bread. I'm telling you, just doing this reminds me of being back in the jail. Again, I wanted to do this video to have a humbling experience, to just try to think back to what it was like in my life while I was locked up in the jail. It was a miserable time for me. I'm very fortunate to say my life is in a totally different place than where it was then. But back then, I could have never even imagined my life would be where it is now. I'm really grateful and blessed to have the opportunity to be living a lot better than I was when I was tearing up some bread to make me a prison meal. All right, we got our other 4 slices of bread torn up. Let's go ahead and add that to our bag. It's going to be a lot of bread. You really don't need 8 slices of bread in this. You could have done it with 4. You probably could have done it with 2. We're doing it with 8, though. This is going to be a hefty little meal for Joe's birthday. Hey, Joe, it was just recently your birthday, wasn't it? What'd you do for your birthday? You went to the club? You went out and partied? Nah, I made me a prison meal with some bread because we ain't had no ramen noodles. What the f***? You really like jail, don't you? All right, we put our bread in our bag. Now, real quick, I want to say one last thing. I know we're making a big old mess right here. But even this saran wrap, this is something that you're going to keep. When you get your bag lunches, you're going to keep this saran wrap because this has a lot of different uses while locked up. You can use this to store other food. You can use this to laminate pictures, to take to the shower with you. If I was back locked up and this was my birthday, I'm telling you, we'd be making this meal right here out of this bread and cheese crunchies. And I'd be using this little saran wrap right here to, with our bread inside of our crushed up cheese crunchies, let's go ahead and just mix this up together. The way we're going to do that, we're going to fold this top over. And we're just going to get to shaking it. And we get to shaking it in a circular motion just like this. Joe, what the f*** are you doing? Talking about circular motion. You don't do no shaking like that while locked up. Shake the bag. Just shake it. Made my whole damn jawline shake. So with our ingredients mixed up inside of this bag, it's now time to take some hot water, add it to this, so this can begin to cook. We're getting our hot water from the microwave. If we were locked up in the jail, we probably wouldn't have a microwave, and we'd be heating this up in the sink. Now when we go to add the water to this, we got to make sure that we don't add too much water, because this is a very delicate mix. You've got cheese crunchies in bread. If you add too much water to this, you could have you some soggy bread, cheesy stuff that's not very good at all. So again, it's a delicate process of mixing just the right amount of water to what we already have inside of here. All right, we got our water heated up. Go ahead and add our water to this mix. Again, we're doing this carefully. Joe, that doesn't look very carefully. All right, we got water in there. Start to mix. Oh, and by the way, I didn't heat the water up too much in the microwave. I only got it about a little more than lukewarm. I really wanted to give this video a lot of authenticity. So, cooking this meal with bread, cheese crunchies, and also water that's not very hot, you can't get any more authentic than that. So as we're mixing this up, it's going to turn into like a dough inside of our bag. Doesn't look that great, but I got to tell you, sure going to taste a lot better than it looks. Especially when we add this meat rock to it as well. Good God. Jesus! Joey, you got to take a shower more often, man. Hey, Cody, why hasn't an Oxygen Network reached out to us yet? Or HLN? I'm telling you, we got a cooking show on our hands. So once we get it all mixed up inside of this bag, we're going to go ahead and flatten this out. Because this is going to cook inside of this bag. So, just making sure we're trying to spread this out evenly. All right, we're almost to the end of the bag right there, so I'm thinking we're gonna let that sucker just set up and cook. I can't stop rubbing it. Joe, you really gotta watch what you're saying. There's certain things you can't say while you're locked up. Hey, how's that base coming for that meal? I think it's coming all right, I just can't stop rubbing it. What'd you just say? Again, we're gonna put this off to the side for right now. It's time to move on. So while that cooks, let's go ahead and prepare our other ingredients. The first thing we want to do is we want to open our pickle. Let's get this sucker out. That's probably one of the biggest pickles I've ever seen in my life. Why are you talking about the size of a pickle? We're locked up. We already know what it looks like. Why you got to emphasize the size of it? I'm just saying, it's pretty large. Tastes good too. After this, we're never cooking together again. This is my birthday. We've got our little trusty plastic prison knife right here. We're going to go ahead and start slicing our pickle up. Now, when these knives are brand new, fresh out of the pack, or freshly stolen from the kitchen, whichever you prefer, they work amazing. But after you've made about a meal or two with these, they don't work so amazing. We got our pickle chopped up. We're going to go ahead and slice up our mystery meat next, because that's going on this meal. Again, this is a meal that you're going to make if you ain't got a lot of money, a lot of commissary. This is a poor man's meal in prison. And even though it may look kind of nasty or kind of like something you might not like, believe me, when locked up and you ain't got nothing else, this is a luxury right here. Got our sandwich meat chopped up right there. Next, let's go ahead and whip up some cheese. We're going to take our cheese spread right here, open this up. Yup, that's the worst cheese I've ever tasted. Now we're going to take our spoon, we're going to take us a good old heap of this cheese right here. Oh yeah. So we got our cheese right there. Let's go ahead and take us some pickle juice to stretch this. Just going to mix that cheese up right there. Thought the cheese was weird looking before? Wait till you see it with a little pickle juice added to it. We're just whipping up some cheese. What y'all doing over there? We whipping up some cheese? What you doing? Why you got that sheet up and you back in that cell with that other guy? We just whipping cheese over here. That's all we doing. I don't know what you doing over there. We whipping cheese. We can add a little more pickle juice to that, as a matter of fact. So adding pickle juice to the cheese will not only give it more flavor, but it'll also make the cheese stretch. And I can remember doing this for my birthday. It was me, my celly, and a good friend of mine who ate this meal. 3 of us. It wasn't a whole lot of food, but it was cheap, and it was a good way to celebrate a day that you would otherwise not want to be locked up for at all. So to be truthful with you, it was a pretty miserable experience. So our cheese is definitely stretched right there. Go ahead and put that off to the side. The next thing we got to do is we're going to open up our mystery meat pouch. Now I know this looks disgusting. You're probably thinking to yourself, you know, meat inside of a bag. This bag was hidden down your pants. But when you're locked up, that's how a lot of food is transported. That's how a lot of food is stolen and smuggled. And you're going to buy food or take food for yourself using this exact method. I guess when you're locked up, you just try not to think about the fact that I just got these 2 meat rock patties off of a guy who just came back from the kitchen. He's probably all sweaty and disgusting. and they were down his pants. Let's go ahead and throw that away right there. And do you got any bleach over there? I really need, I need to wash my hands. You're disgusting. All right, we're gonna go ahead and cut these meat rocks. Now, if you're wondering what these meat rocks really are, what we're using for this video, these are just some Salisbury patties off of some banquet TV dinners. I really want to do a video comparing prison food to banquet TV dinners because there's a lot of similarities between the two. Cody, you excited about this?
Interesting.
Shout out to our sponsor, my latest apron collection from Pug Life. All right, that looks finely chopped up. It's time to put this meal together. With our meat rock chopped up and all of our other ingredients prepared, as well as our cheese, and also with our base having enough time to cook, it's now time to put this meal together. All right, so let's go ahead and tear into this. Now when we tear this, we want to tear it right down the center. Just like so. Peel her back on that side. Peel her back on that side, and voila. And even without the ramen noodles, I mean, this thing is pretty well put together. So let's go ahead and start dressing this thing up. First thing we're gonna do is take our meat rock. Let's start throwing that on here. Evenly dispersing everything, or at least trying to as much as we can. Gonna make sure you get a piece of meat rock in every single bite. I can still taste the potatoes, at least. I hope that's potatoes. Next thing we want to do is we want to take our chopped up sandwich meat. We're just gonna sprinkle that on there. We definitely got plenty of sandwich meat. We took those 4 pieces of sweat meat, and we're really making those go pretty far. Let's take our pickles next. We're gonna drizzle our cheese over this thing. And finally, our mayonnaise from our sandwiches. We're gonna take that and we're gonna put this on as well. And that right there is a meal that I made on my birthday while I was sitting in the jail with no ramen noodles and hardly any money at all. Again, this meal was made on the first birthday that I would spend locked up during a time when I would end up serving 7 years in prison. And the crazy thing about this is this meal was made for under $10. I mean, you think about a bag of cheese crunchies in prison, about $2.25, a pickle about 65 cents, at the most 85 cents, and a tub of cheese for about $2.25 or $2.50. I mean, really, you're talking well under $10, about $6 to make this meal. But now the real test, what does this taste like? Cody, are you ready? I'm so hungry, whatever this tastes like, I'm gonna eat all of this. Cody, come on over here and see what this tastes like with me, man. Come on over here and dive into this thing. I want a big old piece, right like that. Oh no, you gotta stay on there, Mr. Mystery Meat. Let's go. What do you think?
It's actually really good.
No ramen noodles, just some wet, soggy bread. Hey, happy birthday to me.
Happy birthday.
Oh, thanks. We made the biggest prison birthday cake ever for your birthday. I figured we'd do things a little different on my birthday. We'd make some soggy bread prison meal. Got some mystery meat, got some meat rock, got some mayonnaise. Bon appetit. Hey, look, that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did so, please leave a like and a comment letting me know exactly what you thought about it. As always, until next time, enjoy life, the free world, never take a moment for granted, nor ever forget where you came from, and make the most of every day. Peace! Just shake it up, just like this. Not just like, just shake the damn bag. Prison meal, without any ramen noodles. How in the... You make one of those?